17-year-old Sophia normally drove herself to Black Hollow High School, but one overcast morning, her car wouldn't start. Her dad dropped her off and told her to take the late activity bus home. That afternoon, she stayed after school working on the yearbook. When she finished, one bus was waiting at the curb. She stepped aboard. A handful of students sat scattered throughout the seats. The driver stared straight ahead. "Is this the late activity bus?" He gave a small nod. She sat down, and the bus pulled away. A few minutes later, it passed the turn toward her house. "Excuse me, you missed my turn." The driver didn't answer. "Sir?" Nothing. That's when she noticed the other students. Every one of them sat perfectly still, facing forward. She turned to the student across the aisle. "What's going on?" He didn't answer. "Where is he taking us?" Slowly, the student raised one hand and pointed out the window. A massive cedar tree stood on a hill. Her face went pale. She knew that tree. It stood inside Black Hollow Cemetery. Then she saw the iron gates ahead. The bus turned in. She started crying. "Please, let me off." The bus stopped. The driver stood and turned toward her with a rage-filled look. He started down the aisle. The student across from her stood and blocked his path. The driver shoved him aside. Then another student stood. Then another. One by one, they filled the aisle, blocking the driver. The first student ran toward the back, looked at Sophia, and urgently waved for her to follow. She ran to the emergency exit and jumped. She ran past the graves, through the gates, and onto Cemetery Road. Across the cemetery, Rick Dawson had just climbed into his Mustang after visiting his father's grave. Then, he heard her screaming. Rick fired up the Mustang and raced toward the gates. He caught up to her on Cemetery Road. "Get in!" Sophia jumped in. Rick tore away. Then he looked in the mirror. The bus was moving deeper into the cemetery, toward the massive cedar. And then, it vanished. He drove Sophia straight to the Black Hollow Sheriff's office. Sheriff Mercer listened to their story. Then he asked Sophia one question. "Do you remember the number on the bus?" She nodded. 8712. Mercer searched the old county records. Years earlier, a school bus had crashed. The driver and every student aboard had died. The number of the bus was 8712.